Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo. Let me start by saying happy Monday to you. Let's get this week rolling with a little bit of a Titanfall 2 commentary. We're going to do a bit of a discussion today in regards to Tone, the exceptionally powerful, versatile, and extremely capable Titan that is currently consuming much of Titanfall 2's diversity when it comes to Titan selection. She genuinely is an overpowered asset in Titanfall 2 multiplayer right now. She needs some alterations, she needs some rebalancing, big time, in a lot of different areas, and she needs to have some weaknesses baked into her build, because right now I can't honestly think of any. There's just strength after strength after strength, after versatility, after capability, and no weaknesses to compensate for any of it. Now in the past, I may have come across as someone who did not feel this way about Tone, specifically in my North Star guide, but here's the thing. When I do guides like that, when I make videos like that, I like to focus on the there and then, the here and now. We could sit down all day long and just make guides where I say, don't bother, Tone OP, but that's not fun for anyone, and that's not how I play games. I don't play just to utilize the best of the best, and I'm sure that many of you feel the exact same way. You play Titanfall 2 because you want to have fun, you want to play the Titans you want to play Ronin, you want to play North Star, so that's how I build my guides. I go in with that positivity, we focus on what that Titan does well, and then I let you guys make the conscious decision to use that Titan or to just go use Tone because she's the most powerful. Regardless, I do feel it is important as players and members of the community that we talk about these issues, that we have discussions that are hopefully then communicated to Respawn in one form or another. They look at their numbers, they look at what the community is saying, and they make changes to keep Titanfall 2's multiplayer as balanced and as enjoyable as it can be for everyone playing it. So let's talk about Tone. Now, Respawn describes Tone as a mid-range combo Titan, and I'd love to see her be an actual mid-range combo Titan, but I think at the end of the day, what Respawn describes as mid-range is really every range. Tone is more so like a DMR-wielding marksman. The 40mm is her marksman rifle, and she also happens to have a really powerful high-tech rocket launcher strapped to her shoulder. She just excels at every range. There's really no escaping her. And when you combo that with the accuracy and the range of the 40mm, the tracking rockets, and the sonar lock boost, which improves the tracking rockets, she can really reach out and just hit Titans at any range, at any distance, in just about any situation. Even after an enemy Titan has decided that they need to disengage, she's going to go ahead and throw out something like the sonar lock boost, and she's going to hit them anyways. You know, she's going to fire tracking rockets into the sky. She's going to deploy that absurd salvo core, guide it through the sky with her crosshair, and drop it wherever she damn well pleases. It's just strength after strength after strength. You know, the capabilities just keep stacking with her. And then you throw in the most powerful defensive ability in the game, the particle wall, and you have this complete package of destruction that really just can't be stopped. And when you have a pilot that's skilled, when you have frickin' Hero Yui jumping into Tone, she's just unstoppable. It's like Wing Zero. It's just insane, man. There is no stopping her. The bigger problem, though, comes from a lot of people starting to recognize this. And now we're starting to see Tones stacked in teams. We're starting to see 2 or 3 Tones. And that just brings out her strengths tenfold and really, really highlights the lack of weaknesses that she has. So what would I do? What would I change when it comes to Tone to make her more balanced among the other members of the Titanfall Titan roster? Let's start with that particle wall. For those of you who don't know, the particle wall cooldown sits at about 13 seconds. But here's the real kicker. That cooldown begins as soon as you activate the particle wall ability. So even while the particle wall is still on the battlefield, it's already regenerating itself, meaning that Tones are just stacking the particle wall left and right. There needs to be something done to get this thing deployed less often. Either increase the base cooldown number or delay the cooldown to have it start after the particle wall has been destroyed. Something needs to happen there. And again, it gets exponentially worse when you have more Tones on the battlefield. When you've got 2 or 3 of these Tones, poor Legion, you know, the guy who's supposed to be the really powerful minigun wielding Titan, pushing their defenses, creating a defense for your team while also laying down the gunfire, has been reduced to particle wall cleanup. He's just eating particle walls for breakfast. It's like playing a really sick game of whack-a-mole where there's a force field that deploys every time a whack-a-mole actually appears in one of the damn holes. You can barely put any damage on Tone, and you end up having to stack multiple legions just to deal with it, and that's not fun. It starts to turn into the same issue that Overwatch had with hero stacking. Oh, they've got 4 tones, we better get 4 legions, we better do this. It's not fun, and again, it strips away a lot of the game's diversity, which is very important. The 40mm. Splash damage is really the biggest strength of the 40mm. On top of its accuracy and range, splash damage lets it do damage wherever it pleases. It lets it target pilots inside of buildings that should have some level of defense if they're playing smart enough, and it also lets you snipe pilots out of the air with ridiculous ease. It's like throwing a frisbee at the side of a barn from 3 feet away. You're simply not going to miss. Something needs to be done to that splash damage when engaging pilots, and even when engaging AI. She's really effective at cleaning up AI in bounty hunt and in attrition. Meanwhile, Northstar's over there with a supercharged plasma railgun that could probably punch a hole through the center of an asteroid, and she can barely kill 1 AI with it. There's almost no splash damage from it. Something needs to be done with that splash damage, especially against pilots. Now, I really like the idea of the description that Respawn gives Tone, a mid-range combo Titan. Imagine if she actually excelled in mid-range above all else. I'm not saying that she shouldn't be able to shoot people at long range, but what if she had a sweet spot? What if there was some sort of a damage drop-off implemented for the 40mm that meant pilots needed to adapt to an additional layer of Tone? They needed to have an understanding for where that sweet spot was and then utilize it to gain the maximum potential damage out of her, to truly combo her 40mm with her missiles to hit as hard as she possibly can hit, rather than just being able to plink away at anyone at any distance and then launch missiles and do damage. I would love to see that happen. I don't know if that's the right choice or the right change, and I'm not a game developer, but it's one of my suggestions nonetheless. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My thoughts on the Titan known as Tone. I really like Tone. I do. I think she's a cool Titan. I would like to see some added layers of difficulty, and I would like to see her have some sort of a weakness somewhere. I think reducing the height of the particle wall would help. That would make a Titan like Northstar feel more effective when using the flight core. There's just things that need to be done to make her fit into the roster better. I don't think you can ever fully balance or perfectly balance a roster of this many Titans or this many heroes in any game. There's always, Titans that are going to come out on top, especially in competitive play. But I think in a public setting, you can get it close enough that the lines are blurred and that people focus more on playing the Titans they want to play, or the ones that they feel work best with other Titans in their team, rather than just stacking all of the Tones in the world because they know that Tone is the best of the best. If you guys have any thoughts of your own, any changes that you would like to see implemented or that you feel are necessary to bring Tone down a notch, feel free to share them with me down in the comment section below. Keep an eye out, guys. I have plenty more Titan guides coming up in the near future. We're also going to be hitting up the Division Survival DLC. It's going to be an awesome week, and I hope you'll join me for the ride. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.